excited to actually be doing a gig in a city. Because I've been doing most of my gigs recently in like little villages in the arse end of nowhere, or as it's commonly known, Norfolk. I did a gig in a place called Swaffham, which is this like little village that you'll know if you're familiar with the BBC television series Crime Watch. And I thought I'd start tonight with a joke that didn't work there. So I was in the travel agents the other day, and I saw an advert on the wall that said, "Get the real Australian experience." That's what it said. Get the real, called kangaroos in the background and mountains in the... There was kangaroos in the foreground and mountains in the background. I don't know what poster I was looking at. Get the real Australian experience. I thought that sounded great. So I went up to the woman at the desk and I said, "I'll have the real Australian experience." Some men came round to my house and turned it into a prison. They killed my family, let all the inmates out who exploited the natural resources of my house. They locked me in the box room, called me names, and I never appear on Neighbours. At which point in Swaffham, I was met with a wall of silence. And I had to explain that I was talking about the native Aborigine people who lived in Australia, but then I just had to explain three things. A, who the native Aborigine people were, B, where and what Australia was, and C, that it hadn't actually happened to me, it was a joke. And then D, what a joke was. At which point there was more silence than a man in the front row went, "You're talking too fast!" Stood up and went to watch a fight that had broken out in the front of the pub. And that was the nicest pub in Swaffham. So they cheered up when I brought out a prop for a joke about leprosy that I'm not going to be doing tonight. It's a bit lowbrow for here, I'll leave that. But yeah, a bit about me. My name's John. I'm a Catholic. I'm not a devout Catholic. I'm what you call a pick and mix Catholic. I don't believe everything in the Bible. But I personally don't choose to believe in God. It's wine on a Sunday morning. That's what the Catholic Church has for me. But I was raised Catholic, and I never had sex as a teenager. I love the looks of shock every night. I never had sex as a teenager, and I blame that on the fact that I was raised Catholic. Well, partly on the fact that I was raised Catholic, partly on my morbid fear of a hymen, but mainly on the fact that I was raised Catholic, because Catholic sex education is not good enough. It's not. When you're a teenager, you want to do it. You want to do it so badly, and thanks to Catholic sex education, I do it so badly. Because it doesn't teach you everything you need to know. It doesn't. Well, the first time I had sex was a split incident with a condom. I didn't know what to do. I was scared. I had to go to a friend and ask him what to do. This is my friend. He looks a bit like me. And I said, what do I do? What do I do? I don't want to be a father. He said, "It's all right, John. It's okay. Calm down. You just need to get a morning after pill and give that to her." I said, okay. But where do I get one of them? He said, "It's okay. Calm down. You need to go to Boots, a pharmacy. It's fine." I said, okay. How much does it cost? He said, "About £20. I said, £20? For how many?" He said, "For one." I said, £20 for one? He said, "They're not ibuprofen, John. You can only have them twice in your life." I said, £20 for one? You can only afford to have them twice. £20 for one? It's cheaper to have the baby. So we did. Little smasher of a lad, 2 years old now, named after his granddad. Called him Granddad. It's not me who's going to get bullied at school, is it? I don't feel sorry for him, because he isn't real. I've never had sex. Get really paranoid about it. Went into a shop the other day and asked for a phone voucher. Woman at the till looked at me and said, £5 virgin. I said, "No. 12 stone. Well, no, that's my favourite joke. Catholic sex education is not good enough, and maybe that explains my reaction to an email I got about a year and a half ago from a very good friend of mine who I'd known at school, a girl called Emmy, telling me that she was becoming a man. Like on purpose, not just spontaneously. But she was transgendered in order to become a man. I didn't know how to respond, because there's no correct etiquette in this situation. You know, there's no Hallmark cards. Congratulations on becoming a man. I didn't know what to say. I just sat there looking at the computer screen, trying to write a supportive response, but all I could think was penises. How do you make a penis? Okay, because I can understand how you make a vagina out of a penis, alright? I thought about men changing into women in passing, and I understand, you know, it's sort of nicked up, fuck it, you know, when I'm in the shower I can tuck it under, I'm halfway there. But how do you make a penis? Because to my mind, there's just not enough raw material there. So what, have you got to sacrifice a limb and glue it on? Or is it a prosthetic? And if it's a prosthetic, how do you do things? How do you pee with a prosthetic penis? Does it just trickle out when you need to go, or is it a screw cap? How do you get erections with a prosthetic penis? Is it permanently hard? Are you going to walk around with a boner? Or is it inflatable and you carry around the bike pump? I'm ready! Or are there two different models? Is it detachable? Is there an erect and a flaccid and a socket with one size fits all? In which case, lads, lads, we know how many pairs of shoes women own. Yeah? If they're given a choice of penises, they can have one for every day of the week. They can have a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday penis and one shot like Groucho Marx for parties. And orgasm. I'm sorry, the women in the room, would you give up a female orgasm for a male one? I'll answer that on your behalf. No, you fucking wouldn't. Because you guys will have a much better time than us. You guys look like you can go on all night. I mean, potentially. I know there are some men who was all like, I'm done, finish yourself off. But potentially, you can go on all night. Orgasm after orgasm. Oh, God, yes. And why would you give it up for, I'm done, give me half an hour, I'll recharge. Why would you, oh, God, yeah. Oh, and after another, night after night, orgasm after orgasm. Oh, God, and why would you give that up? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why? And just as I was about to hit send, I realised that wasn't an appropriate response. I realised I had to be supportive, I had to be the friend I knew I could be. So I sat there in front of the computer and I wrote, Dear Freddie, because that was his new name. Dear Freddie, thank you very much for trusting me with this information. Thank you very much for telling me you're becoming a man. This must be a real weight off your chest. Didn't email back! Fucking women! I don't know if anyone's got a Facebook page, but I've got a Facebook page. It always makes me very, very nervous, because whenever I go onto my Facebook page, I think, what happens to this when I die? So I decided to eliminate the variables. I left my information and details with a friend of mine and instructions to leave my page dormant for 5 years until the 5th anniversary of my death. And then on the 5th anniversary of my death, changed the name to Jonathan Brittan is back. Anyway, thank you very much. You've been lovely.